Hello. So in the last video we saw the difference between radians and degrees, and we saw that in degrees a full circle is 360 degrees, and similarly in radians a full circle is 2 pi or 2 pi radiances. So in this video we're going to set up a conversion between degrees and radians and do some problems. So as we have seen that in radians and degrees we deal with full circles, okay, in both of them we see full circles. So now one thing becomes clear, that 360 degrees is a full circle, okay, and that is equal to, or should be equal to, 2 pi radians, okay. So 360 degrees is 2 pi radians. Now for simplicity I'm going to use D for degrees and R for radians. So if we solve for D or degrees from here, it's going to be D, and in terms of radians or R's, we get D is equal to 2 pi divided by 360 radians, or is pi divided by 180 radians. So if you have this much radians, we're going to get 1 degree. So for instance, let's do a little example. So how many radians is 90 degrees going to be? We can multiply both sides by 90 degrees. On the left side we're going to get 90. D for degrees is going to be by 180 times 90. It's going to be pi by 2 radians. Okay, so 90 degrees is pi by 2 radians. What about 180 degrees? How much is in radians is 180 degrees? So let's do the same thing. Let's multiply both sides of our original equation, let's say equation A, by 180 degrees. So 180 times D is going to equal to 2 pi divided by 360 times 180 degrees radians. So this is going to be, so let's simplify this one. Let's see, 180 times 2 is 360. 360 cancels with the another 360 in the denominator, so we are going to be left with pi radians. So 180 degrees is pi radians. Let me just write it explicitly. 180 degrees is pi radians. So what about 3/4 of a full circle, or 270 degrees? How much is it going to be in radians? Let's do the same thing. So let's multiply the original A equation by 270 degrees. Let's multiply both sides of it by 270 degrees. So 270 degrees by D degrees is going to be equal to 270 times 2 pi over 360 radians. So if we do a bit of algebraic manipulation or simplify it, we'll get, let's divide numerator and denominator by, okay, see 180 and How much is it going to be? So there we go. It's going to be 3/2 radians. So 270 degrees is going to be 3/2 radians. What about a full circle? Okay, so we can reason that the full circle should be 2 pi r, but let's just calculate it through equation A. So let's multiply both sides by 360 degrees. It's going to be equal to 360 multiply by 2 pi over 360 radians. So in the numerator and the denominator, both 360s cancel, and we're left with 2 pi r. So 360 degrees is a 2 pi radians, as we must get. Now what about backward conversion? From, let's say, from, we've done from degrees to radians, let's do from radians to degrees. Okay, so we have obviously done degrees to radians because we're given degrees, and then we did the backward conversion. So let's do from radians to degrees. So let's do that. Okay, so let's change the equation A to 4 degrees. Okay, so 360 degrees is 2 pi radians. Okay, but what is 1 radian equal to? So 1 radian, or r, is going to be equal to 360 divided by 2 pi degrees. Okay, so let's calculate all of these 4 angles in radians. Okay, so we know that the 90 degrees is 2 pi r. Okay, let's do a backward conversion. Let's take this 2 pi and let's see if we get to 90 degrees. Okay, so we're going to do first. So let's multiply both sides by 2 pi over 2. It's going to be 360 over 2 pi multiplied by pi over 2. So this is 360 divided by 4, which is of course 90 degrees. Similarly, for the second, we do the same thing. We take the pi radians and multiply both sides by pi. So pi r is equal to 360 divided by 2 pi times another pi degrees, another pi cancels with the pi. So 360 divided by 2 is 180 degrees. So similarly, for a third one, we can take pi 3 by 2 radians, and so let's take 3 by 2 pi 3/2 radians pi, and 360 divided by 2 pi multiplied by 3/2 pi. So pi is cancelled with pi's, and we're left with 360 times 3 divided by 4, and that is 4. So that should be 270 degrees. Okay. So let's do the last one. So for the last one, we multiply both sides. We're going to multiply both sides by 2 pi radians. So 2 pi r is equal to 360 divided by 2 pi times 2 pi. 2 pi is cancelled with 2 pi's and we're left with good 360 degrees. So in the next video, we're going to do some more problems, and then we will move on to the next topic.